Hey everybody, welcome to Leadership Training Academy. I'm Amanda and this is my son Keith. And today we are covering the topic how to answer the difficult questions from parents that you get about how does martial arts actually teach respect or confidence or focus.
Yeah, when a parent is, or a family is just getting involved with your program, I mean, you can say, they're going to be learning forms and self-defense, breaking boards, and we have a leadership program. Well, what is a leadership program, and what does that look like in your academy?
Yeah, I think that, it's in our advertisements, it's in our flyers, build confidence, build self-discipline. But then when a parent is sitting across from you about, okay, so I see all the physical stuff that they're going to learn, and you tell me this is going to teach them focus. How exactly are you going to teach them focus?
And we know that,
Right.
and as a martial arts school owner or instructor, I mean, you know that because you've seen over the years kids transform, adults transform, build confidence in themselves, stand taller after, man, earning their black belt. And you've seen the discipline instilled in kids and students. So we know it as instructors and as school owners because we've seen it time and time again. But when someone asks you, point blank, how are you going to teach, my child or myself, confidence, discipline, respect, and that can, I've had it a few times where it's
Right.
well, lots of ways, but it's kind of difficult to get, a direct
Yeah,
answer.
and it does take time and to develop, self-confidence or self-discipline. It's not something that happens overnight. But that's not necessarily when you're trying to enroll someone or explain to a parent how their child is going to become more self-disciplined or more confident, that's going to, take years. It's not necessarily something they want to hear because a lot of times they come in and they have, my child's not focusing today in school. All right. My child has no confidence today. It's being picked on. I need some help now.
Right.
And we can certainly go at those situations quickly with a parent and with a child and help them overcome those things that they're having problematically right then. But in terms of explaining to a parent, how do you teach these character development traits? That's where, the Leadership Training Academy can really make a huge difference and instill confidence in the parent that they're not only signing their child up for this fun martial arts program, but that you, as the instructor, have a very detailed, laid out plan, organized and fun that is going to teach their child focus, discipline, confidence. That you have a plan,
Right.
and that is going to help them feel a whole lot more comfortable about enrolling them in your martial arts and your leadership program.
And we've been honing that in for decades
Yes.
of being able to explain, exactly how we're going to teach leadership. Um, and we have our word every month that we teach. We have exercises the kids are doing at home. We have activities at the end of class, and so we've gotten, pretty good at explaining to parents, how we teach leadership,
Right.
exactly how.
Right.
And what we wanted to do was create that for other schools and
Right.
other instructors that maybe are just getting started. Um, you know, we all have our different strengths and weaknesses. So I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm amazingly organized and some things. So yeah, that's your mom's specialty and my sister's. But so maybe you haven't put together a complete program that's presentable, when you're trying to enroll someone or
Right.
something like
So I
that.
see the situation, and this has come up often. Well, how are you going to help my child learn how to focus? We'll just use that as an example. Well, first of all, martial arts requires you to be able to focus, right? You got to focus on the instructor, you got to focus on the technique. But in our leadership training portion of our class, let me show you. Here's exactly how we teach focus. We teach these different aspects of focus. We have these activities to back them up. And actually we have material that you can take home that you can read on the way to class and kind of reinforce that, or while we're focusing on focus that month, while you're at home, you say, what did your instructor say about focus today in class? Because the parents are going to hear you, or your instructor's presenting this to the children. So it's just that whole package, and then when they see a program that's laid out, that is again organized and detailed, and I really like to use the word intentional, because we are on purpose teaching the child how to focus better, whether it's at home, whether it's at school, whether it's in their martial arts or other activities, and even focus on things that are you may not think about, like focusing on being a good friend, how to be a good friend and that sort of thing. So it is a whole leadership training package with things that you can take home, things that the parents can use, resources that they can use at home. And then they know that you're really working together as an instructor, parent, child, to help develop.
Yeah, and it's and we're using the word focus, but we have discipline, respect, integrity, confidence. So many different topics that the kids are learning and working on. And the feedback that we've gotten over the years is that the parents really appreciate it gives them a great opportunity and an easy way to spark those conversations at home, because we do require a certain amount of these leadership lessons to be done at home, and in order for them to move up in their ranks and things like that. And man, they're we've been talking about integrity all week, and the car ride here and stuff like that. Make sure they know the answers for class, and getting their leadership work done in their journals, and so they're able to just really have some really valuable conversations because of it.
And I think that's one of the favorite things that I hear, and I hear it every day, walking around in the lobby talking to parents, how are they doing at home with their integrity lesson? Oh yeah, I want to tell you this story. Or what parent will pull me aside, I need to tell you how my child used confidence in the classroom today. It really made me proud of them. And those are the stories that it's not the stories of wow, my kid broke more boards than he's ever broken before. We all see that and we celebrate that, but the things the parents are really proud of is how our program has helped their child be a better citizen, a better student.
Yeah, and just to kind of maybe finish up on this topic, we're our group, that we're creating. We do a Zoom call every other Monday, and we go over, how do you explain this when you're trying to enroll a student? And we practice those things, and we go over some of the verbiage used in explaining this product and this system, and how easy it is. Really, I mean, it's how are you going to teach leadership to my child? Well, we use this program,
right,
which has videos, which has written instructions, it has take-home exercises for the kids, and it's a great program that it's been developed over decades. And so when you have that, it's like, oh, okay, that's how they teach leadership. It answers the question just very simply.
Right. And I think, again, like I said, it gives the parent confidence that they're enrolling their child not just in a martial arts program that's going to, do the magical, like it says on the ad, build more confidence by taking martial arts, but on purpose and intentionally, we are training them to have more confidence.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, if we can do, because we, as we said before, we know martial arts teaches these lessons, and I do believe someone has a good instructor that even if they weren't as intentional, they would still learn focus and discipline and confidence. But our goal is to expedite that. We want them to learn to be efficient in learning these leadership lessons, and we've said the word a lot, but intentional.
Right.
I think that's very important.
Well, yeah, and not just that, but if you are telling somebody you're enrolling them in a leadership training program, a black belt leadership training program, it needs to be not just out in the air, something they can't see. It needs to be a tangible leadership training program, that you're doing, where a parent can see this instructor is teaching my child this character trait.
And when the parents see this very organized and deliberate system of teaching leadership, it adds a ton of value to your program,
Right.
and validity, and which is super helpful for the parents to see.
Yeah, and it's easy for you as a school owner, easy for you as a school owner, instructor to use or to train your staff to use. And that's like we mentioned before, that was our hope, is to not just have this content that's going to add value to your program and help you let parents see and even adults see how you're going to teach their child to be a better citizen, but it's easy.
Right.
Super easy to use, super easy to learn, super easy to implement.
That was important to us, was to make it easy,
Mhm.
because we know how difficult it is to implement something new,
Yeah.
and different to your staff, to your students. It's difficult, it's challenging, and we don't like to change. So we
Right.
wanted to make it as seamless and as easy as possible. And the last 5 to 10 minutes of your classes can be just so simple, on autopilot, and bring a ton of value to all of your classes. We do it every single class. There's not a single class that doesn't get
Exactly.
leadership training,
Yeah.
and the parents absolutely love that. I will say, and this was my fault, but we had our graduations coming up. This was last year sometime, and we had a lot of stuff to get done, and for 2 or 3 classes I did not get my leadership lesson in, and I had some parents concerned about that, and I was like, you know what, you're absolutely right, and we got right back to our leadership lessons, and but man, I was actually appreciative of that.
Lets you know that they are listening and that is a valuable thing that they want for their child.
Yes.
And they're bringing them to hear from you. The kids look up to you,
Right.
and you tell them, eat your vegetables,
Right.
because it's healthy. They're going to do better at that at home.
Right.
So.
Absolutely.
But join us on our Zoom call if you want to know how to do that. Just email us. The email is there in the description, and you can get the link for that, and we'll just continue our discussion on the Leadership Training Academy, how to implement it, how to grow value in your program. So thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and a subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please drop them below, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds good.